These are just so cute together. I just love the retro colors. Everything in here is vintage. I ran an impromptu live sale on knickknacks.net and see the big gap here? That's because I sold a bunch of items. Let me bring those back up onto the table and we'll go over everything that's sold. And then I have an announcement after that. I sold a total of 5 items. These 4 right here and that pillow in the background there. That sold for $7. This was a recent find that I got up in Pennsylvania. The lidded basket sold for $15. I just love that. I saw that on the shelf and I was like immediately drawn to it because of the colors on it. And then this item back here is a made in Japan, very MCM divided nut dish. I have been trying to sell this for years on multiple platforms. And the other day I was doing a live sale and somebody asked me about it because they could see it in my Buy It Now. And sometimes I can go and grab the item and bring it to the table in the middle of a live sale. But in this case, it was kind of tucked back in my closet. I was like, I can't run back in there and dig that out at the time. So I thought, let me put it into my next live sale, which I did. And of course, it sold. It sold for $12. This is a perfect platter and server for the fall, especially Thanksgiving. It is by Andrea by Sadek. Just love the fall details around the edge there. I sold this for $20. We are in November, but I'll be able to ship it out today and they will get it in time for Thanksgiving. This is a studio art pottery piece. Beautiful purple. I love the speckle on it. It's signed SM. I remember seeing this in the thrift store. I had to pick that up so fast. And I wasn't running this that often in my live sales. I'm like, oh, I'll just leave it in the Buy It Now. I think I had it in a pottery show like months ago. And then I thought, you know what? Let me pull that back out. This was the first item that sold. And it sold for $15. For the 5 items that sold, my total cost of goods on these were $15.72. And I sold them for a total of $69. My announcement is that Brianna from Primrose Collectibles and I are going to do a duo live sale on knickknacks.net. It's going to be vintage variety. Each of our shows are only going to be 15 minutes with sudden death auctions, which means the clock doesn't tick up once somebody bids on an item. It just counts down until it's done. Brianna is going to start us off, and then she'll raid into my show, and then we repeat it once more. It's going to be fast and furious and should be a lot of fun. I can't wait. Well, that was so nerve-wracking and fun. Primrose Collectibles and I did our 15-minute, fast-paced, sudden death live sales on knickknacks.net. She went first, and then I did, then she did, then I did. And I was trying to like clear my table from sale number 1. And I had sale number 2 items ready to go, but I didn't make space for where I was going to put the items that didn't sell from sale number 1. And so I had to quickly throw those into like my light box. And I was like so discombobulated, so nervous. It was so fun. It was very fast paced and we learned a lot. We just kind of laughed about everything. She was saying it in her show too. She's like, 15 minutes isn't a long time. I mean, you're barely talking about an item and running it. And then you talk about the next item and running it. And next thing you know, half the show has gone by. And I think we said initially we were going to do like 10 items. I think I had 14 items ready to go because I thought, well, if they sell really fast, I'll just run them run more of them, I guess. And so that's what was happening. 15 minutes is way too short, way too short. So we are going to do this again. And of course, have ourselves a little bit more organized and think through exactly how we want to do. We did like the sudden death aspect of it. And what that means is that when someone bids on an item, normally my camera just went down. That's okay. I'm going to keep going here. When there's sudden death, if you don't have sudden death, let's put it that way, as people bid on items, it adds seconds to the auction, and then it keeps counting down. And if another person bids, it adds seconds to it and counts down. But in sudden death, it doesn't do that. It just counts down. And we had ours as 20-second auctions, and so there is a thought there that we might have shows that are longer. We may adjust from 20 seconds down to 15 or something like that. Although I think 20 seconds is a really good time. And so I did sell some items. I didn't sell anything in the first show, mostly because, I don't know, you're nervous, you're talking. I added an item on the fly in the middle of it. I knew I had it in there ready to go, but I had it on the table, but I never added it to the stream. So I had to quickly add one to the stream, and then I ran it really quickly. And I was trying not to be too chit-chatty, which you get used to when you're running like an hour-long show. You're a little chit-chatty. So I did sell 5 items, and I'm going to show you those up next. Here are the 5 items that I sold on my second 15-minute live sale. It was just so much fun. I think I thrifted all of these items, or at least most of them, when I was in Pennsylvania. If you haven't seen those Thrift With Me videos and haul videos, you're going to want to backtrack on my channel. I was up there for a bunch of reasons, and then I was also able to source by myself one day. I sourced with my nephew Daniel from Daniel's Deal Den, and I also sourced with my friend Sherry from Sherry's Fab Finds. But let's go over these items that I sold. This is a lead crystal wine stopper, just beautiful. I sold this for $10. Beautiful hobnail. I just love the green color on this. Fenton little dish, sold that for $6. The trinket dish, so pretty. I love the dainty little flowers on it. This one is made in Germany. It's R. Thomas. Sold that for $6. The Napco-ware little cat back here. Isn't that adorable? Look at the eyes, the little flowers. Made in Japan. It's got this faux fur around it. This sold for $10. And this is just a trivet. I just love the earth tone colors on it. It looks like grapes painted in there. That sold for $6. All in on the 5 items, my total cost of goods was $10.48, and I sold them for $38. As you guys know, I just recently listed up these 3 pairs of shoes, boots. These sold already. I know it's really dark in here. These are those Dansk nursing shoes, very comfortable to wear. I sold these on Poshmark. So much better to see these in the light box. They're just a pair of black leather Danskos. They have some condition issues, a little scratch there, some marks there, but other than that, in really good condition. I paid $4.88 for them, and I sold them for $25 on Poshmark. After Brianna and I did our duo sale early in the morning, I decided to run a late night sale, so I'm set up to go here. It's been a minute since I did a late night sale, and this will be my 3rd live sale today. These are just so cute together. I just love the retro colors. Everything in here is vintage. One person bought the chicken and the 2 pillows, and a different person bought the raccoons. I put them on either side like that because it just balanced the picture. These go like that. I sold these for $7. The Hall Henno Nest for $24, and the 2 crocheted pillows for $20. Let me put that back that way. It just looks better when it's balanced like that. My total cost of goods on all of these items was $12, and I sold them for $51. So sometimes I do pre-box up items. Makes it easier for the shipping. So I sold this blanket that's in here. It's one of those tapestry throws. I'm going to have to put a picture in here so you can see what it looks like and how I had to take a picture of it outside on my swing because it's just so big, and I wanted to kind of show the whole thing and then take pictures of the individual birds on it. Here is the blanket. I used the AI feature on eBay to give it that wood grain background. I paid $4.99 for it, and I sold it for $16 on Poshmark. We haven't even had a chance to rake our leaves up that are still coming down, and it's snowing this morning. Today is the 9th of November. We had such a hot summer here in Michigan. I know this is going to be a cold, snowy winter. We usually wait as long as possible before turning the heat on, but we've had our heat on since October. I kept teasing my husband that he'd have to go out and shovel, but it wasn't that much. I pulled these items to quickly list up before I do another live sale on knickknacks.net. If you're curious, you should come on over, register, and then you can start bidding on items. There is already over 51,000 people on Knickknacks and a little over 5,000 sellers on there. There is a little bit of everything for everybody. I just wanted to share these few items here that I listed. Of course, I list up a lot more than what I'm showing you here. But I do share when it sells. I wanted to show you guys something that I bought for my reselling business, but it's not to resell. It's my poly mailers. I got the yellow ones with the white daisies. And then I also got these. These are really large. I didn't get a huge quantity of them. And I'm going to use these if I'm shipping out coats, or if I have to ship out a lot of clothing, or like a blanket or something like that. An Afghan, all of those good things. And I do this near the end of the year. I always look to see what my supplies are at, and do I need to restock? Because my thought is prices always go up, right? So I'm like, buy them now, and then I'll have them for next year. And of course, if I run out in the middle of the year, I'd have to reorder. And then I was like, I need to do something different. If I'm going to sell clothing on knickknacks, I need to have a better way. I cannot list up every single item, especially if I'm going to be running a huge quantity of items. Recently, I just tested it out, and I was like, oh, I'm only going to run, I don't know, it was 20 or 30 items or something like that. And I, in between shows, would list up a few more. And I was only taking about 3 pictures of each item. But I noticed on the other live sales that sell women's clothing in general, and all of that, handbags and shoes and all, is they don't list it up at all. And I'm like, okay, yeah, I could do that. But I was watching to see how they did it. And I saw that they use these little numbered cards. Let me show you one. Let me get it there. Because it's backwards on the one side. I don't know why it's backwards on one side. But anyways, it works for showing you guys. These go up and over the hangers. And so now I don't have to preload everything, what I'm going to be doing is running the item. So if I run number 1 and it sells, they get the number 1 card. If it's number 50, like I just showed you, then they get the number 50 card. And then when I'm ready to ship, I just grab number 1, number 50, number 27, whatever numbers they got. And then I'm able to package those up and ship those out. And it makes it so much easier. I'm so glad that I noticed that. I've been watching and clicking into these live sales for a while, and I never noticed that little detail till the other day. And I think because you're looking for it. When you're looking for the answers, they tend to show up. It's kind of like asking the universe, to manifest something for you. And so it happened to work. I happened to see it. I ordered these right away. And so I'm all set to expand my live sales and hopefully make more sales and all of that. And my last video was a solds video, and of course the one you're watching right now is a solds video, and that is because I did so much sourcing in South Carolina and then in Pennsylvania. When I came home, I was like overloaded with items, and then you have to list those items in order to sell them. You can't just keep sourcing. So if you like my Thrift With Me videos, I have entire playlists. If you don't like the solds videos, that's fine. Sometimes resellers, other resellers like to watch those to see what you're actually getting for the items. Like when I do my haul videos, I give you like an estimate, like, oh, I'm thinking I'm going to get this or that for the item. But in the solds videos, then you see exactly what I actually got for the item and which platform I sold it on. It's so funny. I listed up a top yesterday. It's a Torrid. I'll put a picture in here. It's a Torrid new with tags top. And I was like, okay, I did it in a live sale. Let me just put it up on eBay and cross post to Poshmark. I put that up on Poshmark. It got 100 shares. Actually, more than 100 shares. It was like 99 shares within the first couple minutes, and then a few more the next day. So it's up over 100 shares, and I'm hoping it's going to be a quick seller. I look back on eBay, one view on that item. So I'm not knocking eBay, but sometimes you got to be in the right market for your items. I mean, I sell a lot of vintage on Poshmark too. I sell, mugs and glasses and all kinds of vintage items, trinket boxes, all of that. I can't think of everything that I sell over there. I try to put the smaller items because of the shipping limitation over there. If it's under 5 pounds, it'll ship. And so I kind of keep that in mind. If you do over 5 pounds, the seller has to pay the difference. So if something was going to be 6 pounds or 7 pounds, you would have to pay the shipping on the difference. So I try to keep it under 5 pounds. And now that Poshmark has lowered their shipping, I want to get more items over there. So some of the items that I did preload in terms of clothing that I did for my live sale on knickknacks, if they didn't sell, I'm going to be cross-posting those into eBay and Poshmark. So I might still be listing up clothing, but if I can sell my clothing in live sales and not have to list, I know it's like, you feel like you're cheating. It's like cheating. It's work smarter, not harder. So that's what I'm thinking. And I'm hoping to be doing that. And then, of course, oh my gosh, they are so close. I can't wait for them to be able to cast to YouTube. That'll be so much fun. I am hoping that is a 2026 item to do on District, and I'm definitely going to take advantage of that right away. I have not sourced in over a month. I am due to go out sourcing. I am almost done listing up everything that I bought since August. It was I went down to South Carolina twice, and of course to Pennsylvania, and I sourced at so many stores, and I got so many items. If you guys have been following along on all of the Thrift With Me videos or Thrift With Us videos, of course I did my reseller meetups when I was in Pennsylvania, all of that, and I got lots and lots of goodies. I'm almost done listing that up. That doesn't mean I don't have a death pile. I still have a death pile, and some of those things are so old. Oh my gosh. It's embarrassing. And every reseller has this death pile. You would rather list up something you got yesterday than to list up something that's been in your death pile for 3-4 years. Like I don't even want to say. I'm not going to say in this video. When I get to it, I will make it my confession time then as to how old the item is or how long I've had it and why I didn't list it. Don't know. But I have items that I've had in my death pile forever and ever. I wouldn't have to source probably for another month or more with my death pile items, which is weird. Now, some of it is listed. Sometimes I say it's in my death pile. It's listed on one platform, but it really needs to be listed on 2, 3, 4 platforms, you know. So there's that. Another thing I just noticed is I always had my Etsy shop around 50 to 70 items. I counted up the other day. I have like 12 items in there. And I know that's because I started selling, you know, on knickknacks and I sold a lot of my vintage. And so if I'm going to do quick flips over there, then there's no reason to put it on Etsy. But there is certain items that are long tails, and so I do put them up on Etsy and sometimes in Poshmark if it makes sense, and of course on eBay and all of that. But I really have let my Etsy shop get itty bitty, and I'm surprised when I make any sales over there now. But we'll see if that changes over time. You know, things always change, and you never know, depending on what I find. In fact, in my death pile, I will make this confession. I have a set of vintage dishes. Actually, they're antiques that I've only listed up a few of the pieces and never listed up the rest of them. And they would be perfect for Etsy. Of course, I could put them on knickknacks and eBay. Maybe some of the pieces might go on Poshmark, but it's another thing I just have not gotten to, and that is, it just happens. It just happens when you're a reseller. Anyways, I want to thank you guys for coming along on my reselling journey. Please subscribe to my channel. I am trying to grow my channel. Put the comments down below. You guys know I love reading your comments. Hit that little bell. When you hit that bell, it lets you know when my videos are available. I have been posting twice a week for the most part. Back a few weeks ago, I was posting 3 times a week. So you might have missed videos because I did them on, I think it was Tuesdays, Thursdays, and Saturdays, whereas I normally do Wednesday night and Saturday night. So there's all of that. So you might want to check back on my channel and be like, hey, wait a sec, I missed some videos in there. So go back and look at those. And I'll catch you guys later.